So the term junk fishing gets thrown around a lot in bass fishing, and there's not really any one perfect way to describe it, but basically my way of junk fishing is having several rods on the deck that, you know, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 rods that you're picking up constantly throughout the day. You know, we got a bank here in front of us. We got some grass, we got stumps, we have some calm areas, we have some windy areas. And so, you know, on a grassy bank with a little bit of wind, I might pick up this, you know, weedless swim bait, make a couple casts. You know, if I come up to a stump like we have here in front of us, where it's maybe a little bit calmer, you might pick up, you know, a Texas rig and flip that in there. So you're dropping the one rod, picking it up, making a couple casts, and you're basically, you know, adjusting on the fly and fishing whatever's in front of you. You're not necessarily running much of a pattern at all. You're getting on the bank, you're turning your trolling motor on, you know, that 30 to 60 range, and you're just going and fishing whatever's in front of you. Pick up the bait that looks best for the color sitting in front of the boat, and just go. And it can be really effective in certain times of the year where fish are really spread out. You know, kind of that post-spawn, early summertime, that summer to fall transition can be another time where fish are on the move a lot. Right here we got an underwater log that has some good shade underneath it. You could flip it. I just picked up a wacky rig, let it sink down. Right now there might be some fry garters around it. So it's kind of, there's kind of a pattern, kind of not a pattern. But you're not just locking one bait in your hand and going. You're constantly switching up, making a couple casts here, a couple casts there for whatever looks good in front of you. Like right up here we got what looks to be a bare spot with maybe a bed sitting there. So pick up Texas rig, flip in there. I don't see a fish on it. Doesn't look like it. But there just as easily could be a fish sitting on a bed right now as a fish set up offshore. And so you're constantly bouncing around, and eventually by the end of the day you might dial in something. But in most cases, you know, in a tournament situation, you're weighing your 5 best fish on 5 different baits throughout the course of the day. And it can be a really effective way to put a good bag together, especially at times of the year when fish are not necessarily set up on, you know, one general deal, whether it's offshore or everything's on the bank. It's kind of your transition time of year where that junk fishing really comes into play.